Hey guys. Okay, so I wanted to touch on a bit more of a personal and difficult topic today. And I titled this video, Falling Down 7 Times, Getting Up 8, How to Handle Discouragement. So if I'm being super straightforward with you, I have been super discouraged the last few months with business. And there's so many things that tie into discouragement, right? Which I'm going to touch on in a little bit. But one of my uplines actually brought it up to me that she goes, girl, by looking at you, I would think that you are totally on fire right now and don't have a hint of discouragement in your bones, which I was like, are you serious? Because there have been times where I've really started to question if I'm doing what I should be doing, what's my purpose in this, yada, 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 right? Almost to the extent of quitting. And it hurts to say that, and I don't know if this is the safest thing to say on my team page, but I guess my point is, what I want to talk to you guys about today is the fight to overcome discouragement, right? Because it's going to hit us all. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. I have some notes here that I'm just going to be scrolling through. If I'm looking down, that's what I'm doing. But what I wanted to talk about is things that can bring up discouragement. And let's break down discouragement. What discouragement really is a lack of courage. So it replaces courage. It replaces your will to continue. So it's going to have this big stop impact on you. It stops you from desiring that forward motion, right? So when discouragement hits us, we don't want to move forward. We feel paralyzed. We feel like not only do we not want to move forward, we feel like we can't. And so it's replacing that courage that we had. And so we need to know how to stop it in ourselves so that you can stop it for your team. If you see it happening in a silent sister, if you see it happening in a downline, that you can come to them and you can say, look, girl, I know we all fall down, but here's how we can stand up again. So we need to do discouragement management. So here's some things that can cause discouragement. Number 1 is questioning yourself. So all discouragement comes from asking the question, can I really do this? These are deadly words that are going to echo in, hopefully not all of our hearts, but I know it's echoed in mine before. Can I really do this? I know when I first started, I said that my goal was to pay back my $55, and that's it. That was my goal, and I was crippled with this fear that I wasn't going to be able to do it, right? And since then, I've had that fear as well in much more impactful and devastating ways to my identity and to my business. Another way that we can become discouraged is by questioning or having lack of results. This is huge. You can eject yourself from this business with no results. And this starts with questioning you. You start to question yourself. What am I doing? You start to sabotage your actions, and then that cripples your results. So it's self-perpetuating. Another thing that can cause discouragement is by having expectations that are set too high. So this is huge. This is done almost daily for women who have at-home professions. You might be new setting goals and you don't have the skill set yet to be a crown princess tomorrow, right? But if you expect that you are going to be like crown princess mañana, tomorrow, and when it doesn't happen quickly, you think that you can't do the business, when that's really not the case. You just need to be empowered and willing to do the work to obtain those skills. The fourth way that we can become discouraged is listening to the wrong people. So this can discourage people really fast, especially if, as a distributor, people who are influencing you are negative. So this could be family, this could be a spouse, this could be a sister, this could be a mom, this could be a fellow set of sister, this could be your upline, this could be your downline. Anybody who's putting things into your mind, telling you that you can't do it, or telling you that it's probably not going to work out, those are the wrong people to be listening to. You need to have the power to, when those arrows get hit at you, to deflect them, right? And we want to be able to fend all of that negativity off. The fifth way that discouragement can creep up on us is by a loss of vision, okay? So a lot of people start home business professions, and we want to increase, empower, or improve something in our life, right? We all know this. We all have a reason that we started selling. And likely it's to increase something, whether that's finances, whether that's confidence, friends, whatever it is. Or we want to empower. We want to empower women. We want to empower ourselves. We want to prove something to ourselves. We want to prove something to the people around us. Or we want to so increase, empower, and improve. We all know this. So after you've been at it a while, you can start to lose this vision, because slowly and silently doubt creeps in. This doubt can creep in from distractions, from a lack of focus, or from a lack of empowering relationships. And then that doubt can turn from a discouragement tumor into cancer. Right? So this has happened to all of us. Well, I hope it hasn't, but it's happened to me. I've questioned myself. I've had a lack of results. I've set my expectations too high. I've listened to the wrong freaking people, and I've lost my vision. So how can we battle this? First off, I would say that understanding that most discouragement is caused by setbacks in your heart, okay, or in your downline's heart. So what can cause these setbacks? Number one, I would say, is communication errors. So we get paid to do one thing, and that's to communicate with people, right? When it comes down to it, it's 100% communication. And so we can trace like our communicative power or lack of it into like our effort. So what I would recommend you doing is, if you are, say you're the one who's discouraged, then what I want you to do is you can, by all means, when I'm going through this, I want you to know that I'm being vulnerable here, because I want you to know that it's happened to me. And so I want you to know that if this is happening to you, that you are not alone, and that you can come to me if you feel discouraged, and I want to be here to get you back on the right track, okay? And so we've just got to lay down our pride, okay, because it's happened to all of us. And so I'm going to start giving you some ways to fix it, right? But if you feel like you need a person to hold your hand and to help you to fix it and to hold you accountable and to give you some direction, because sometimes you can feel so buried and like, man, I don't even know what the next step is, then reach out to me, reach out to your sponsor, reach out to a right person, not a wrong person, right? We were kind of talking about wrong people to listen to before. So in this communication issue that I'm talking about, like communicative errors, so let's pretend like you're talking with your downline, and your downline's a discouraged person. I want you to sit down with your downline, and I want you to walk through the communication that they've had with their customer or with their prospect. So why aren't they making this sale? Why aren't they booking this party? Why aren't they hooking this distributor? And when you listen to them, or when you read what they've written, I want you to take notes, listen to their presentation, and then see where the breakdown is. How they handle objections, how they come to a decision of what would meet the person's needs, all of those things. And I promise you're going to find the problem in their communication error. So whether that means their communication is too weak, they don't have that conviction, or there's a lack of communication, or too much communication, too strong of communication, you're going to find the glitch, okay? And don't forget that inner communication that we speak like within ourselves as we speak to others. If that's negative, then we're going to be communicating that way. So like if in our head we don't really believe in what we do, or we don't really believe in the product, or we don't really believe in the company, even if we're not saying those words, that's going to come out in our tone. That's going to come out, and people can read that. People can see straight through you. Side note, that's one of the reasons I never sell a product that I've never tried. So I would never advertise a product I have not tried yet. Anyways. All right, so one of the first ways that you can handle discouragement is by checking that distributor's communication errors and then fixing them so that they won't continue to be discouraged, right? Because you're going to help them to be more successful in their sales and in their recruiting and in their booking, etc. The next thing I would consider doing would be to somehow offer special attention to that person. We want each and every one of our distributors to know that we are willing to take the time with them, to be there for them, to hold their hand, and to give them what they need to reignite their fire. So I want to offer myself up I'm just like a normal human being, right? But if you feel like it would help one of your girls to get a phone call with me so that, and I'm not even saying this from a place from pride, like whatsoever, I hope that you know that, but if by any means I can be of help to another distributor to encourage you and to say like, hey girl, like I'm a princess and I face this too. I've been there. Like if you're a princess, that means you've been a distributor before. That means you've had zero downline before. That means you've had parties that have flopped before, right? Like the greater the success, the greater the flops that you've experienced. At least that's my experience. Like it can suck sometimes. Like it can really suck. But it's what you do with that sucky that is going to determine your future and your success. Because if you quit and you stop the sucky and you decide that you don't have the courage to continue, if you decide that that discouragement is going to eat you alive, if that stop impact has so much impact on you and you don't push forward and push through, you're out, right? So we need to prepare our minds with a plan. How are we going to fend for ourselves? How are we going to fend for our downline so that when discouragement comes, because it will, how are we going to treat it and how are we going to fight it off? How are we going to get knocked down 7 times and stand up 8? All right, so I want to let you know, and I would encourage you as uplines to take the time to call your girls if you know that they are experiencing a time of discouragement. Call your girls, ask your, if they're local, say, hey girl, come over for a glass of wine. And it doesn't have to be this super like intentional business meeting. It can be, right? You need to read your distributor and figure out what they really need, but it can also be like, I'm here for you, right? Like I'm here for all of you outside of even just business. Like you guys aren't just a paycheck to me. You're women who I care about your success and I care about your emotions going through all of this, because sometimes, let's be honest, direct sales can be like a freaking roller coaster ride. Yeah. All right. So first, figure out their communication. Second, be willing to give them that special attention in whatever way they might need. Third, I would plan like a micro event day. So what do I mean by this? Sit down with your distributor and make a list of easy, small actions you know they will be successful at. So we want to get them to expect success again. So here's some examples for this. So maybe we could sit down with our distributor, or if they're not local, on the phone or Skype or something. And we want to say, okay, girl, I want you to make a list of 5 things that you can't fail at. So make a list of 5 girls that you're going to call. Make a list of 5 emails or Facebook messages that you're going to send out. 5 new prospects. So prospects does not mean girls that like get recruited, right? Because then they're going to feel like I failed at recruiting. Because if you have a 5-for-5 ratio, like tell me your secret because I need to know it. But it just means reaching out to 5 prospects. And so make a list of things that literally they're just able to check off. And they're going to say, I did it, Katie, like you told me to make 5 phone calls and I sucked it up. I pulled myself up by my bootstraps, and guess what? From 7 to 8 yesterday, I time blocked and I said, I'm going to get these phone calls done. And I didn't even have to be anything big. Like I told myself, like they can be 5-minute conversations, or it can be a 3-sentence Facebook message or whatever, but make a list for your distributor of things to do that they aren't going to fail at so that they can start to expect success from themselves again, right? So these are what I call micro events. So, and then when they do succeed, because they will, and you're going to follow up with them, I want you to celebrate their efforts and their small successes. So that's super important, is to receive that encouragement from their upline. Okay, number 4. how to battle discouragement. Over and over and over again, the most powerful words in downline building is, get ready, 4 words, I believe in you. So do you know how long it's been since they have probably heard these words? It's probably been years, right? Our mom told us this on the first day of kindergarten, and that might be the last time that we heard it. This is what we call a battered heart first aid. So some people, for whatever reason, pride maybe, are going to start feeling discouraged when you begin to help them. And they might even become codependent. So I want to forewarn you about this. What you want to say is, girl, I love you, but I can't and I will not run this business for you because that's going to cripple you. So I need to find out what is wrong. We're going to correct that together. And then so you can do this business in an even more powerful way than I could by handling your business for you, right? Because we'd just be spread. There's just too many pieces of the pie if we try to run somebody else's business. We can only serve our own pie, you know? So you need to really be willing to genuinely look this distributor in the eyes and say, I believe in you. Because we do. Otherwise, why the heck would have we recruited you, right? We really believed that you could do this, that you could make a difference, that you could make this business happen, that you could make Lip Sense go like wildfire, right? Otherwise, why would we have reached out to you? If we thought you were going to suck, we would have not wasted our breath, right? I have 600 friends on Facebook, but I have not written a Facebook message to all 600, right? But you girls that are here and are my first lines are the girls that I saw this incredible potential in, that I said, oh my gosh, each of you, I'm getting chills even just thinking about this, each of you add something so essential and so unique to this team. And that's why I went after you. Because there's something special in you that you can make this business happen. You're not going to be a carbon copy. You're not going to be Katie Enos. You're not going to be Heather Burns. You're not going to be Jada, whatever her last name is. You're not going to be Jenny Buchanan. But you're going to be you. I'm going to be Katie Johnson, right? So what do I have to offer the world? What do I have to offer the world in terms of cosmetics, in terms of my personality, in terms of my whatever it is? What do I have to offer, and how can I use that in my business to get leverage, to get business, to get downlines, right? There's something that only you have. God, I'm going to bring God into this. God has brought you on this earth to create or to fulfill a destiny that nobody else can fulfill, right? So get at that. Get after that destiny. You are the only one who can do it, okay? That's why you were created unique. That's why you were created special. That's probably why your downline went after you and was like, girl, I'm not getting out of your inbox till you sign up, right? I'm sending you a free sample because I know when you try it, you're going to sign up. Anyways, I'm on a soapbox now. But yeah, so in summary, we want to, for our downlines, when discouragement creeps in, discouragement is any time that we are, where's my notes, replacing courage with the lack of courage. We have a lack of courage, and our will to continue is decreased, okay? It's when we stop that forward motion. So, in summary, this can be caused by questioning yourself, lack of results, expectations too high, listening to the wrong people, and when you lose your vision. Discouragement can be rectified by fixing any communicative errors that you might have going on, which could be causing your lack of sales, lack of recruitment, etc. You also want to, discouragement can be rectified by giving them special attention. So having an upline who they look up to, even if it's far up, text that upline, be like, girl, I need a favor. I need a 10-minute phone call from you, and just let this girl know that you've been there before, that she's not alone, that she can do it, blah, 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 blah. And if they have a heart, they're going to do it, right? And not to mention, fifth lines, I love you girls. You guys too have a daily effect on my family life, my financial provision. So there are reasons that I don't want you to quit. Not just because I believe in you, but because you're signing my paycheck, right? So I am like vested in you and in your success. When you succeed, I succeed, right? Okay. So care about lines 1 through 5. And plus, if someone after that needs a phone call, like call them, right? Ask me. I'm more than willing to do this. Not saying like I'm wildly successful and people would be so excited to hear from me, but if it'll help, I'll call someone. Plan a micro event day. Give your distributor a list of things to do, right? That they're going to be successful at. Follow up with them, and then celebrate their success when they are successful at those things. And then say those 4 powerful words, I believe in you, and actually believe in them, right? Remind them why you believe in them, why you think they're incredible, and their God-given potential. So that is a bit on discouragement. I know I kind of rambled a little bit, but I just want to give you guys the encouragement to let you know that if it happens to me, it's probably happening to you or to your downlines as well. And so the number one thing we can do is to prepare for it, right? If it's going to rain, if you see on the forecast that it's going to rain, you throw your umbrella in the car, right? So we are throwing our umbrella in the car. We're preparing. We're saying, okay, discouragement is going to come at one point or another. Life ebbs and flows. So I need to throw my umbrella in the car. So if it rains, I'm going to have that umbrella. I'm going to push it up, and I'm going to take these 4 steps to make sure that discouragement can see its way out, that when we fall down 7 times, we can stand up that 8th. All right, guys, message me, comment if you have any questions. And more than anything, I just want you guys to know I'm here for you. Take care. Bye.